Can you hear me and see me? Can you give me a... Okay, yay. I have no way of communicating with my team. So I just was waiting until I saw a new link come up. Okay. So internet went down in my house. Very sorry. My daughter had to stop her Zoom with her tutor. Like the whole house came to a grinding halt. I'm back. Okay. We were talking about fermentation, right? um, yeah, I called Dave and he's like, I know, it's down, I know, because Zoe had already called him. Yeah, it was interesting, right? Yeah. So you guys can see me, okay? All right. Well, let's continuamos, right? Here we go. Smudgy was mad. He was outside screaming. I don't know. It's been a weird 10 minutes of my life, but we're back. You can't hear me? The audio is fully functional. So double check on your side, put some headphones in. It's fully operating here. Well, talking about my mom. Interesting. I don't remember what I was talking about with her now, but anyway, she took over. I don't remember what I was saying because I went into like emergency mode. What were we talking about with my mom? Can you refresh my memory? What were we talking about? I can't remember. Do you remember like what thought I left you on? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's her. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about fermentation, but I can't remember. Oh, how her passing is part of the alchemy of this. Is it a coincidence that she goes during fermentation? Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's I don't think it's an accident. So anyway, this is what I leave you with in terms of thinking about fermentation. Something in you. Let me bring this back to you for a second, okay? Let's take a moment. Miss Jade, I couldn't agree with you more. Let's bring this back to you. Something in you wants to, I don't like the word die because it has so many connotations. You know, language is loaded, right? Like, so that word we got to come up with a new word. But something in you wants to fade away so that whatever its intention or its purpose or its energy is can come back within you in a new form. Something in you wants that. Transition. I like that word. Change. I like that word. Die is kind of poopy, you know what I mean? Evolve or rest or slumber or, right? Something in you, too. This isn't me, this is you. Something in you wants to become stronger in a new form. Now let's think about what this could be, okay? This could be about love for you, that you've been in your relationship for a real long time, and that relationship wants to be reborn. So that relationship is looking for permission and a pathway to come through in some new, higher iteration, right? That could be your physical body. Something in you, your body wants to be reborn in some way. And I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about reimagining yourself, right? So your appearance changes, right? I think it was Jess Parsons in this group who posted, because I always see what you post. I don't always, sometimes I'm moving fast. I don't have time to like things and comment on them all the time, but I'm often there and I notice what you post. And she posted something that said something to the effect of, I broke, you may not recognize me because I broke down and I put myself together in a new way. And I really, again, I don't remember if Jess is here, maybe she remembers what she posted. I don't remember the exact meme, but I remember looking at it and going, yeah, every time I've broken down, I've put myself together, back together in some new way. So the pieces are all there, but I'm not quite the same, right? And so something in you wants to stop doing things the way you've done them before and wants to start doing them in some new way. And you have to honor that, because if you don't, okay, if you don't allow yourself to be reborn, to bring some core part of you forward in a new way, then I think that's where we start to encounter health challenges and life lessons that are really difficult. I think the work of spiritual transformation isn't so much transformation, it's about meeting every moment where it is. Like, what does this moment want? Okay, this moment wants me to do this three things, and so I'm going to do these three things to the best of my ability, instead of going, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this, or I'm not ready for this. That's where we are not on task and not on purpose, right? So it's like showing up to every moment in the highest possible form that you can. It doesn't mean you have all the answers or you've totally figured things out, but it means saying yes to each moment on its own terms. And in your life, this is looking like something right now. And it can be as simple as, I don't want to keep being mad at my ex-husband, or it can be as simple as, I want to parent my kids in a different way. I want to have a different relationship with them. Or it can be as simple as, I don't like the way I'm eating. And, like for a while we were ordering food in a lot. And I've kind of, at least for myself, and for the kids too, kind of put the kibosh on that. Like, I need to get back to cooking. I don't want to have other people preparing my food. Like, it's nice, it's convenient, but it's not good for my body. I don't know what seasonings, I don't know how much salt they're putting in it, I don't know how much fat is in there. Like, I need to get back to preparing my own food. And that's a form of fermentation, right? It's like, I need to notice what's happening, and I need to shift it, and I need to bring forward whatever this thing is that's showing itself to me in some new form that's a little bit higher vibrational. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it can be small and it can be big. So I want you to take a moment here and isolate, if you can, what that is for you in this moment that you need to come to with some fresh eyes. You need to look at whatever that is through a new lens. And just say yes. It's simple as that. I mean, this is not a complicated process. But the idea that we take a plant, we break it down so that it can be rebuilt in a new form, and all of a sudden that's a spirit, because it's more distilled, it's more of the essence of the plant. How can you become more of the essence of who you are in your life? And I won't know what that is for you. Yeah. And I love hearing that you guys have had the same experience with food, because, we got to a point where the kids were like, oh, let's just order, whatever. And it's like, and sometimes when I cook, it's more expensive than just ordering quick takeout. Like, let's just get a pizza. Why are you making chicken? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And so what I've realized is there is a reason why takeout food isn't always the right option. But it can look like any number of those things for you. And it can be all the way from somebody dying and needing to, their soul needs to have a purified form, right? My mom's body was so broken from illness that she really did need a chance to come into her essence without that body that just couldn't keep up with her anymore. And I was so happy for her in that way that she could do that. And that's what's keeping me kind of going, that I know she's not dragging that thing around anymore. It was such a hindrance to her toward the end of her life. It's like she just wanted to leave that shit there, and like be free of that. And I totally get it. For you, it could be a lot of other things, right? I'm an expert at affordable cooking. I really am. But it's true, you know what I mean? Like, how you eat, how you speak, speaking may be part of this now, because Mercury's retrograde, which is always an invitation to reimagine how you communicate. And so maybe you want to learn to communicate more intentionally or more thoughtfully, or more from the essence of who you are, as opposed to how you think you should communicate, or what you think people want to hear from you, right? Like, maybe that's how it shows up. Or it could be showing up to your job with a new force, right? Like, and even for me, like, I love my job, but there are times where I have to reinvent what I do a little bit, because I keep changing and evolving. And so I have to show up to how I do what I do in a new way. And if you're a teacher, it's about getting excited about being in your classroom again. Or if you're a consultant, it's being excited about the, training that you deliver or whatever it is. Or if you, whatever it is, you can find examples of this all over your life. But this, I think, is the real medicine of this moment. Because you're here for X number of years, right? Up to 100 for most of us. And you're going to reinvent yourself along the way. So for tonight, what I want you to do, you just change jobs. So this is a good opportunity for this too. I want to take this energy over to our perfuming, because this is a combination of oils that's really designed to help you access deeper truth. And some of these are oils that you already have. Sometimes I like to do blends that are a little more kind of common. These are oils that you might have in your own medicine cabinet. It's lavender with lemongrass and cardamom. Lemongrass is solar plexus, cardamom is sacral, and lavender is heart and crown. So we're also covering a lot of different chakra territory with these 3 oils. To bring you peace, to bring you stimulation, and to bring you stamina and creativity as well. So let's put these together. You ready? Interesting. I love that. Ula Hula Hoop and Flow said, as therapists, we have to take CEUs, as most licensures. And it reignites me every new class. I've been doing therapy now for 18 years, right? And it's like, how do you, the real wisdom, the real sages, in my opinion, are the people who come to old work wearing new glasses, right? I mean, I've had Sage Goddess for 10 years. I don't feel burned out. I still feel like I've got a ton of creative runway. Because, the domain that I'm in is endless. It's an endless fountain of energy and topics and pantheons and traditions, and it just never ends, right? So there's no way for me, even in a whole lifetime, to feel like, well, I've exhausted every possible opportunity. I don't think I'll ever feel that way. I have to bring my jojoba in from last night because I didn't use it all. I've got so much jojoba at the house now because I never use these full bottles. So I have like 6 of these sitting in my medicine cabinet. But it comes in handy because I make you can make the best bath salts. Like if you make a blend and you really love it, just get some Epsom salt from Amazon or wherever you like to shop. You can add Himalayan salt or Dead Sea salt if you want to get fancy, but Epsom is the best, right? Magnesium sulfate's really good for your muscles. And then add a little extra jojoba to your perfume just to dilute it. I like to use a tablespoon for every 2 cups of salts is kind of my ratio to make a really nice, intense, strongly scented and good energy, and make your own bath salts. I make them on the fly. So like last night, Nick wanted a bath because his muscles were hurting. So I took Master Healer and a couple of other oils, some arnica, and just made him some bath salts and threw him in the bath and let him soak in there for half an hour. But you can make a really nice blend. If you have extra jojoba, just keep it, because if you ever want to make your own bath salts on the fly or anything like that, it's a good tool to use for that. Yeah. So this is not part of your monthly tools. This is that extra journey set. We do these on the 2nd of every month, I think, 2nd or 3rd. So you may want to keep an eye out, like the next set will come to you on October 2nd, I think, or October 3rd if you want these. Okay. So I'm going to light just a little bit of, we're obviously going to go a little bit over time tonight because of our lovely internet disruption. Actually, I'm just going to use my candle to light it. So we're going to light our incense. This is Pink Lotus. That's my new favorite. and then down into the bottle. Let that bottle fill up with smoke. See how it fills? Isn't that cool? The whole bottle is filled with smoke. It's one of my favorite little tricks for clearing a bottle. So good. And it smells good too. Yeah. This is going to be a good one for you. This is truth, but it's more than just truth, right? Like lavender for you, for all of us, lavender is extremely important for emotional health and well-being. Lavender is an antidepressant in essential oil form. And this is French lavender. This is from Provence. Lavender comes from different places in the world. I'm not a fan of Spanish or Bulgarian. I'll just be honest with you. I'm spoiled. I like French lavender, and this is French. And then your lemongrass this one comes from Southeast Asia, which is where most of the lemongrass comes from. And lemongrass is purifying, it's energizing, it's clarifying. So it's really good for mental clarity, which is why I put it in a throat chakra blend, because it helps you clarify your thoughts, which ultimately will help you clarify your expressions too, brings balance, psychic development. And then cardamom is for creative expression. And that's the little half dram. Creative expression, focus, clarity, spiritual awakening, centering, balancing, deepening meditation, relieving stress and anxiety, and stimulating inner desire. So, my two favorite oils in this blend, just candidly with you, are lavender and cardamom. I like lemongrass because it really is for creativity. As a writer, lemongrass is one of my go-tos. But I don't like the smell as much as I like lavender and cardamom. So I want to make this primarily a lavender and cardamom blend with a touch of lemongrass for the energy. Now, if you have other oils you want to add, I would welcome you to do that. You are more than welcome to add anything you want. And then I'm going to add, even though your ink is already scented, I'm going to add a drop of this to my ink too when I'm done. And you can do the same if you would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my lavender first. I'm going to add about half of my bottle in. When I'm making perfume, I use my nose. I don't measure. And I'll tell you something, lavender with pink lotus is real pretty, in case you're wondering. And you can kind of turn the oil in the bottle to break down some of that smoke. Do you see how the smoke is coming out? Do you see it? Isn't that cool? It's leaving the bottle. You see it? Isn't it magical? It's a little bit easier to see in the room than it is to see on camera, but there you go. See that smoke leaving the bottle? Okay. Now I'm putting all of my cardamom in there. Up to you how much you want to add. Cardamom turns me on. It's an aphrodisiac. It stimulates sexual desire too, so I'm not responsible for what you do later. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And then I'm going to add just a touch. If you love lemongrass, you can add as much as you want. It's just, I love it energetically. I don't love the smell as much. So I'm just adding, that was probably 2 drops of lemongrass. And that still was a little too much for me. So I'm going to go in and add the rest of my lavender. And now it's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So mine is all the lavender, all the cardamom, maybe 1/3 to 1/4, more like 1/4 of the lemongrass. Okay? Cardamom over anything for you, Rachel. See, I love it. And you'll have your own alchemy, right? That's why I give you the oils and you can blend, because you're going to love certain things more than others, and that's going to be unique to you. But this is exactly what I wanted it to be. Now, I'm going to take the Fall Gateway perfume from yesterday, which I'm in love with. It is so good. And I'm going to add just a couple of drops of it, but I really love it. It's one of my favorites we've made. And that sweetened it just a little bit, which is nice. I'm going to put some on my wrist while I'm here. The other thing you can do with your perfumes, I'm sure you probably know this already, but you can pour it into the wax, not on the flame, just a little bit into the wax. Same with your jar candles, just a little bit into the wax. And as it burns, it will diffuse that oil, the scent of that oil and the energy of that oil, which is pretty neat too. And now I'm going to, what I'm going to do, you do it however you want to do it. I'm going to mix this together. I always turn it 3 times. And I'm going to smell it. That's exactly what I wanted this to smell like. It smells like spring in a way. But there's definitely that cleansing, clearing, purifying energy. So into my ink now, I'm just going to add 1 drop. And then, because I wanted just the pure oils in my ink, and then I'm going to add my jojoba to fill it up. And I fill it to the bottom right here, because if you overfill it, when you put the stopper in, it's gonna overflow and spill. And then smell that and see how that smells. Oh, that's real good. And then more on me. That lavender. I spilled it, which is so great. Then what I do is I take it and I rub it on my clothes and I rub it in my hands, and then because it has jojoba in it, ends of the hair. I always do this because jojoba is really good for preventing split ends. Did you know that? So whenever you're finished, making your perfumes and stuff, if you have oils on your hair, right through the ends, and then you go to the other side and you go right through the ends. I learned that from my mom, because she would do that even at the shop. Before they had hair serums, my mom had a hair salon, and she would take jojoba oil, and at the end, and sometimes with a little ylang ylang or a little jasmine, she would run it through a person's hair and brush it one more time, and it would tame all the flyaways. Jojoba is really good for your hair, and it's really good for your skin, and it will prevent breakage and split ends. So if you're trying to grow your hair out, just a little bit. And my kids always say, "Mom, your hair smells so good. What's in it this time?" And I'm always like, "I don't know." It's whatever perfume I made. And I just pulled it through. Argan is fantastic for your hair too, Carolyn. My mom's salon was back in the early 90s. So we were a little before argan. That was before the Moroccan Oil Company, and all of them started importing argan from Morocco, and kind of that whole craze started. But so we used more jojoba back in the day. But jojoba, argan's real good. Coconut oil is fantastic on your hair as a mask. I don't know if you've tried that too. If you before you wash your hair, especially if your hair is dry, mix some coconut oil in your hand with a little bit of neroli, a little bit of jasmine. If you want to do a purifying mask, you can do more rosemary oil. And then don't put it up here, because especially if you have fine hair, because it'll make it greasy. But put that coconut oil through your ends, and then just leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. I braid my hair, so I put coconut oil through it, I braid it, and then I'll go vacuum or do something else, and then I take a shower. I leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes, and it's a great hair mask. And it's super affordable. I mean, it's just, coconut oil that you get from the grocery store. That's what I use for my hair. Yeah, jojoba was bigger before we had all the fancy things that we have now. Yeah. Okay, so you ready? Now, put your caps on your bottles. If you're like me, you're going to knock everything over. And I'm saving my lemongrass in my medicine cabinet. I used the other two in their entirety, but I'm going to save my lemongrass. Because it is nice to have those oils, you know, for down the road. And if you want to, you can cap your ink and just turn it a couple times to mix the oils into there, and then see if you can smell it. Oh yeah, I can totally smell it. It's super yummy. Yeah, coconut's good. You're getting ink on your hands. Good news is this ink, if you get it on your hands, rubbing alcohol takes it right off. Or if you get it on your table, rubbing alcohol. This is a rubbing alcohol wipe. I get them on Amazon. They're my favorite thing for cleaning because I don't use cleansers in my house. Like to clean my house, I don't use those things. Alcohol wipes. I highly recommend them, and you can get them pretty affordably on Amazon. And this ink will clean right off your hands and right off any surface with an alcohol wipe. It's one of the best things you can work with. But literally, like if you have ink on your hands, you see how the alcohol just takes it right off. So you don't have to worry if you spilled it. Easy peasy. Yeah. Ink refills, I don't know if we have ink for ink refills, but I can check with our team tomorrow and find out for you. Because it would be nice to have scented ink refills, I have to agree. Okay, so I'm going to keep the camera here for this next part of our exercise. And this is going to be our craft for next time. We're going to jump the wand. We're going to cross this wand. And then we're going to decorate it. And I'm going to teach you about some ceremonies you can do with your double terminated quartz wands to inspire you. So the first thing I'm going to do for me personally is I'm going to take a little bit of this oil that we blended today, our Truth Blend, and I'm just going to anoint the surface of the journal, the back of the journal, clasp, the first page, just lightly with my hand for the energy of the oils, because these oils are all about truth and expression and communication. The ink is for your pen. So with your tools, if you got your tools for this month, you got a box that looks like this, and this is a glass pen, and you got scented ink that we made for you. Here I am picking it up with my fingers and getting it on there, but see how the alcohol takes it right off, so you have nothing to worry about. Clean my bottle off. So we bottled the ink for you in-house at Sage Goddess, and we scented it by hand with all of the oils that are in your perfume for this month. Yeah. Now, if you don't have your tools for this month, just grab a regular pen. You don't have to use scented ink. And your pen came with a little pen stand that goes like that, right? So when you sit it on your table, if it still has ink on it, it's not sitting directly on your table. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Okay. So what I want you to do first, this is what I always do when I start a new journal, and I waited for you to do this, is, and you'll have to get used to writing with your pen. So if you want, you can take a piece of paper and just experiment a little bit. If you haven't worked with a glass pen and ink, it is a different experience. So you're going to dip your pen in your ink. This is how they used to do it in the old days, everybody. And you're going to experiment with writing with your scented ink. Isn't that cool? So if you haven't had that experience before, and one of the things that might surprise you is you don't have to re-dip every time you write a letter. The ink will carry you through, and you'll find your rhythm. See how I used too much ink here, and then the SH got too intense. So you want to bring it in and kind of tap it off, and then you'll get used to your rhythm of how much ink it takes to write. And I like a really fine point, so if you do too, you're gonna love writing with a glass pen. Isn't this cool? So once you've practiced a little bit, I want you to open your journal to your first page. And I call this the intention page. I like to write my name in every journal that I begin. And just dab off some of the ink. So write your name. And then I'm going to write soul shift. And 2021. And I'm going to call this my journal of truth and creativity. But you can call this whatever you would like it to be. One thing I learned from my mom, she always wrote this way. See if I can show you. I loved the way my mom wrote and. So I'm going to show you how she did it because I've always done it like she did it. I don't think I ever told her this. My mom had beautiful handwriting. And she always wrote and. She wrote A at the top and then the N lower, kind of in a diagonal line. She always put and between the letters and kind of in this like descending order, and I always thought that was cool. So that's in honor of you, Mom, and your beautiful penmanship. That's my journal of truth and creativity. Isn't that fun? So if you don't have the glass pen, don't worry. And if you don't have this journal, don't worry. I want you to write tonight. And I want you to write without thinking if it's perfect or you're using the exact right words. Let me just tell you something. Spiritual journaling is not about, oh, I made a mistake. If you make a mistake, draw through it and keep going. Spiritual journaling is not like, oh, I said that the wrong way, or my handwriting was perfect until I got to this line and then it wasn't as good anymore. All that goes out the window, okay? This is about just letting messages come from your spirit, right? Isn't that cool? Oh, Charmel, I love that so much. Christiana's is her journal of truth and transformation. Isn't that fun? It's all these little, fun techniques. And then if you do have the ink and you smell the page, you should be able to smell your ink, which is kind of neat. Okay. Now, I want you to put today's date, which is 9/23/21, at the top of the first page. Okay, so that we set a definitive date for the start of this journal. Yeah, but see, Lauren, that's exactly why you have to do it this way. If you are a perfectionist, I'm breaking you out. I'm busting you out tonight. Okay. What I want you to do here is I want you to experience first what we call automatic writing, which really is just what we as writing teachers call stream of consciousness. We're going to try it first with your dominant hand, and then we're going to try it second with your other hand, okay, that you don't write with. For me, that's my left hand. That's going to make you nervous if you're a perfectionist, but this is the side of your body that's connected to your subconscious brain. Your writing hand is connected to your conscious brain. Your non-writing hand is connected to your subconscious brain. So now we're going to let the conscious brain speak for just a minute and see what it wants to say. And I'm just going to start writing. And I want you to do the same thing. I'm going to turn the music up a little bit so you can hear something other than me. For just a second. just ask your soul what was to come through. And I want you to take up a whole page. And here's the thing, when you start writing, don't stop. Don't second guess it. Doesn't have to be complete, doesn't have to be whole sentences. Whatever comes into your mind, it goes on the page. Okay? You ready? How did it feel? How did it feel to write that page without, just committing to finishing the sentiment, right? It's interesting, right? Are you guys doing it with me, or are you kind of more watching? If you're doing it, I'm genuinely curious. Like, how does it feel to just sit down and say, I'm going to finish this one page without overthinking it, without questioning it, just kind of trusting whatever's coming through? Feels good, right? Because it doesn't have to be anything other than just whatever wants to be spoken from your spirit. Because whatever it is accurate, right? It's necessary. Now, I'm going to turn the page. And on the other side, this would be more difficult. I'm not a good writer with my left hand. My daughter's ambidextrous, and so is my mom. My mom cut hair with her left and right hand. It used to trip people out because she would be cutting, and then all of a sudden she would pull down and be cutting, and people were like, how are you cutting hair with both hands? But my mom was ambidextrous. Your magic, Mom. Anyway, let's try the other page with your left hand. Woo! Right? And you can totally keep going. I mean, my hope is that you're going to fall in love with this, and later on, there'll be no stopping you, right? So load yourself up with some ink now. I'm going in with my left hand. And this, you have to just surrender and let whatever wants to come through, come through. My mom was a master of automatic writing. And I always thought she was magic because of that. And we're not channeling right now. We're just letting our self communicate without the pressure of connecting to the conscious mind. You know, if we wanted to really channel and do intense automatic writing, we'd want to open a circle and invite spirits. That's not what this is. This is just you connecting with you, but outside of your realm of conscious control. How you doing? Uh-huh. Yeah, my eyes are open. You can close yours if you want. Again, if we were channeling, we might want to keep our eyes closed, but this is just sort of like listening to the voice of your higher self, right? Um, I'm glad you like the music. Yeah, mine looks like a kid's writing too, and it's okay, right? This is tapping into your subconscious. This is a very different message coming through me with my left hand than it was with my right hand. It almost feels like it's more third person talking to me. How you doing? It's legible. It definitely looks like things that Zoe used to write to me when she was 3 years old. So, what I wrote is on this page, I wrote, I am ready. This is my conscious brain. I am ready to listen to the voice of my soul without fear or judgment. My soul's wisdom wants to be expressed. We are in need of truth and acceptance. I feel ready to accept myself the way I have accepted others without hesitation or expectation, simply allowing what is to be and emerge in love and in trust. And then over here, yeah, it's interesting. Londa feels like I do. I feel like this is either my inner child or my higher self over here, Londa. This page in my non-dominant hand says, I see you with eyes of compassion because I know how hard it is to be brave and take the first step. It is okay to just be who you are and not try to be something else. Right? This doesn't feel like my voice. You are safe here. You know this deep down. So now it is time to remember your magic and where it comes from. Feels like higher self, doesn't it? Feels like higher self. So here's a question for you. We're gonna go a little bit over time because we had a pause. So because I want to drum with you for a little bit. Next week, would you like to try proper automatic writing, where I would open a circle, call the directions, and allow more of a channeling to happen? Would you like to do this again, but let more of energetic flow come? where maybe we can invite just higher vibrational energies into the circle. Okay. So, because I wanted to get your appetite kind of wet tonight and see how you feel, but only if most people wanted to try it. Okay. Um, I would like to do it, and I think it'd be fun to do it together. This is just sort of like you feeling it, right? And then you're gonna see what comes through the dominant hand and what comes through the non-dominant hand, and start to see the difference. This was my mom's strongest psychic gift, was automatic writing. She just didn't do it in a circle, so she used to get herself in some trouble. I am very particular about how I do my work, so. And you could choose to do it right and left-handed. I'm probably going to do one page one way and one page the other way, just to kind of see what comes through. Okay, so next week we will do this again. So bring your journal, or whatever your journal you worked with tonight. I always blow my breath over my journal pages. I don't know why. It's not to dry the ink because it's already dry. It's more just life force. So we'll do that together. Does that sound good? Meanwhile, Randy Lee's like, this Virgo made a to-do list. You know what? That's accurate, right? That's a form of journaling too, to-do lists. Not my favorite form of journaling, but I am a to-do list person, so I can appreciate that. Okay. So, what I want to do for the remaining time that we have together is I want to drum just a little bit. We're not doing a full journey tonight. Again, I'm not going to open a full circle. We'll do a little bit more of that next week. But it makes me feel good to know that you're kind of softer tonight and in the space. We've made this transition. You guys in the Southern Hem have made your transition to spring. We up here have made our transition to fall. And I like the idea that just for a few minutes, as I drum for you with our soul shift drum, which is my best drum. Beautiful. Yeah. Could be divine masculine and feminine. How did you feel, Morgan? Did you feel like the feminine was coming through more on one side than the other, or masculine? Like on your page, what was it doing? So just for tonight, just for this transition, just for this work of fermentation, I'm going to open this question. I'd like you to journal about it this week. And then when we go into our automatic writing next week, and we decorate our wands, I'm going to ask you to carry what comes to you tonight. When we jump our wands next week, we're going to cross the wand. And if you don't have the wand from this kit, any double terminated wand or piece of quartz will work. Be sure to bring that next Wednesday. The question for this month is about essence. Essence of who you are. And so I want you to come up with a couple of power words or power phrases that describe in words the essence of who you are. And once we come up with these, I'm going to challenge you this week to put these words at the top of a page and then just write. Okay? One of my words is warrior. The essence of who I am. But I'm a warrior in the Greek mythological sense. The Greek warriors didn't want to fight. They wanted to avoid war. Right? Through strategy, through wisdom, through love. The best warriors never go to battle. They're able to avoid it. Right? So I'm going to write a whole page this week about being a warrior and how I avoid war. That's my job. Right? Who are you at your essence? And you can write it down, you can speak it, you can hum it, you can sing it, you can think about it. Your thoughts are your throat chakra. Your voice is your throat chakra. The words you write on the page or type on the screen, throat chakra. Right? I think so, Karen. All right, so Melissa's hearing healer. So what does that mean? At your essence, you're a healer. So what do you do? How do you heal? How do you avoid illness? What is your special sauce? Right? Truth, justice. What is justice? I like words that are multivalent. It means they have many sides. So what's the valence, right? My valence on being a warrior might be different than yours. Right? What's your valence? Caregiver, healer, goddess, lover, survivor, mermaid. Yeah. Able to breathe underwater. So no matter how deep, how heavy it gets for you, you can still breathe. Artist, light, commitment, seeker, mystic, I love that. Guide for Judith. And Lynette says this is the lifelong question. So let's get in there with an answer, right? It doesn't have to be the answer, but like an answer. Compassionate being, student, yeah. I'm always a student. I'm always looking for my teachers, and they're everywhere. The hummingbirds, my kids, you, right? Rachel saying, I'm not a crone yet, but that word might be coming. Ready for you to define it, right? Fighter, warrior, warrior poet, beautiful. What does that mean? Leader, yeah. What does it mean? How do you lead? I lead from behind. I do. I like to lead by helping people lead themselves. Yeah, rebel. Divine being, yeah, mother. Oh yeah. Most of the people I mother did not come out of my body. Right? We mother in a lot of ways. I'm constantly mothering. Creator, transformer, peacemaker, change agent. Yeah. How do you create change? Wild, sage, angel on earth. You are. I love it. Sacred. Callie, talk to me. Sacred. To me, sacred is not of this place. It's the capacity to anchor what is not from here in this place while we're here, right? Laughter, healing artist, seeker, animal rescuer, yeah. Truth teller. Servidora. Maestra, right? Beautiful. say, I'm a flirt. I like to turn people on because people are off. Everybody's light switch is off, so I feel like I walk around turning on the lights, right? Playful, right? Fairy, teacher, magic manifester, traveler, that's right. Priestess, yes. Storyteller. Bundle of curiosity, beautiful. Bridge. Yes, Roxy, that's who you are. Force of nature, yeah. Sage is beautiful. Victorious is beautiful. Uplifter. I'm goofy too. I'm a cat whisperer. Never met a cat I didn't like. Wanderer. Badass. Sounding board. Guardian, teacher, the weaver, encourager, transformer, helper. Yes, there we go, Lizette. Now we got some words on the table. I like it. Bodhisattva. I keep choosing to come back. See what else I can do here with these people instead of staying over there. Protector, patchouli wearing patriot, baby. Artist, healer, weirdo. Yeah, I'm pretty weird. All the cool kids are. The normal people, you gotta watch out for them. I'm a weeper. I feel intensely for this planet, and I like it. I make it my work to understand everybody, every walk of life. Chameleon, I'm a chameleon. I can pretty much fit in anywhere, anytime, with anybody. Because I want to understand. Lantern, hermit, magician. Hippie, seeker, sexy, yeah. All of this is sexy, isn't it? You can't say all these words and not feel sexy, right? I like that. Casey's a light weaver. Yeah, seductive. I'm pretty mysterious, even to myself. I'm still figuring me out. There's a lot of layers. Yeah, Sarah Jackson, I see you. Yeah, I feel too. Untamable Calliomas. May it always be so. Mother Goddess for Brady, love that. Awakener. Janisa. I think you're onto something there. Yeah. Explorer. Good in bed. You know what? Shy. your growth, I love it. Keeper of secrets. Holder of space, right? Queen. Shamanic warrior, beautiful gypsy soul. I am that I am that I am feisty. Closed. As it should be sometimes, right? How you feeling? So, if you want to do it now, before we close for tonight, pick one of those words. Pick one of those words that you liked. It doesn't have to be one of the ones that was shared. It can be, and don't overthink this. You know how you overthink it? I overthink things a lot. Don't overthink this. Choose the first one that comes to mind. I am a believer. My faith is strong. So tonight, I'm going to finish this page. That's my commitment. And when I do it, I'm going to do it right after I sign off with you. I'm not even going to leave the room. In fact, what I will probably say is anybody who wants to go now, in just a second, I'm going to ring the bell. You can go. If you want to stay, I'm going to finish my page and you can stay with me if you want, but you don't have to. But since I'm going to stay here and do it, if you have extra time, that's great. If you don't, I completely understand too. Because we've already gone over time, but that's because I had the 10-15 minute hiccup with the internet. You thought I wrote beloved? Well, that probably wasn't an accident. So on the other page, I'm going to write beloved. Can you imagine doing a whole journal where all you do is you write a word and then you finish the page about that word? No more, no less. Turn the page, another word comes to you, you do that. And I'm going to tell you something else. You want to give somebody an amazing gift that won't cost you very much. So fantastic idea for the holidays, by the way. Go to the dollar store, get some small journals, and channel a word for that person and write the first page about them and their word, and then sign it and gift it to them, wrap it and gift it to them. You do something like that for somebody, it's a gift they'll never forget. And it'll cost you $1 and some wrapping paper. That's probably the best gift you can give to somebody, because it's going to encourage them to take that journal and keep it going. Have you ever had somebody give you a journal? I've only had it happen to me once or twice, but I did use those journals. It's like they got me started. You know what I mean? And so it's like you almost feel like, okay, I'm going to keep going. They got me started and I'm going to finish it. Wouldn't that be a beautiful gift? Yeah. It's a beautiful idea, especially when we get to a point with gifts where we give people just more stuff and it's like, you know what I mean? Something heartfelt like that actually is a gift to them because they're going to keep that going is really magical. That's what your bridesmaids did? How cool is that, Kathy Deason? I really like that. Or an anniversary gift. It's beautiful. So anyway, that's how you can pay this forward and keep people inspired. And yeah, Vanya is the journal queen, the art journal queen in our community. So I can only imagine what's possible. One day we have to have Vanya teach us how to art journal. Take our whole craft to the next level is what we're gonna do. You did that for me, Alexis, and you know I've carried that through. It's really true. And I think you did put believe, if I can remember right. I'm gonna go get it after this and take a look. I think you did. That's always been my word on my thumb ring, you know. I do believe. And you could illustrate it. Can you imagine one day how your kids will feel receiving that stuff, or your nieces or nephews or godchildren or students, you know, how much they would love something like that. It'd be really fun. I'm trying to get some journals like this for holiday. I'm doing my best, but it's really hard with the pandemic and people not being able to do things right now. So I'm going to extinguish my candle. The candle smells so good. And I'm going to ring my bell. And so I'm going to say thank you for being here for session 3. Session 4 will be more of this, but in a circle, more automatic writing, and the crossing of the wand and the decorating of our wands next week. So make sure you have a double trim quartz wine of some kind that works for you, and bring your journal back. And then I'm going to open a circle and call in our guides, and we'll do a full fleshed out experience next week. Oh, thank you for that, Carla. It's very mutual. I appreciate you too. And I showed you how to do it softly. Honestly, that's the best compliment. I love that. Oh. And I love you too. We're doing great. Yeah. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's true. Okay, so I'm going to stay and write my page. And you can stay and write your page too if you would like. It'd be kind of nice to have you here, but if you need to go, I understand. And thank you for being here for as long as you want. The days are getting shorter here. Before you know it, it'll be dark this time of day. Okay. is kind of like ASMR, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to do my other side too, but I'm going to do it with my right hand. So I'm going to do beloved, and then I'll come back and check on you. So Jax, for this part, if you want to do it, I want you to pick one of those words when we were doing our words, you know, lover, magician, seeker, and I want you to write that word at the top of the page and then just finish the page. Whatever comes to mind for that word. And then Karen said that she thought I said beloved, so I'm going to finish this page too. I'm trying this word on. Ooh, that flew out of the pen. That felt really good. Yeah, I'm hungry too. It's dinner time, honey. You got into a zone? Thank you, Karen. Okay. So, for believer, I wrote, I know magic is real, and beyond the illusion is something deeper, always there. It's fun, isn't it? When I surrender to the mystery, I honor this belief and strengthen it through faith. This process gives me hope when my trust is broken by this human world. There is always a reason to believe. I never stop looking for it. I'm so glad, Randy. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. It's kind of fun. I know, and it's late where some of you are, but... And I'll just read my last page to you. By the way, if you would like to share this, I would love, like, you can make a little video clip reading your page, because I would love to hear your voice. You don't have to show me your face. You know, some of you are shy on camera and stuff, but you could, like, hold the phone over your page and post that into our Facebook group. Like, I would love to hear you read a page or two in your voice, you know? And then for beloved, which is what Karen gave me, I think we have, Karen, I wrote, my soul knows the experience of being beloved to my Creator and seeing others as beloved to me. Be loved without having to earn it. Just because I am. Be loved, and in turn I learn how to gift this experience to others. No need to be afraid, because love protects, blankets, covers, and soothes. To be loved is to be healed. Yeah. This is kind of one of my favorite classes we've had. I think, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I love writing, and I just love that this little journal's going to hold all these little nuggets, you know what I mean? Like, I might just keep this going for the words. Like, I come up with a word, maybe I dream of a word, and I finish the page. It's not that much of a commitment, you know what I mean? It's like 4 or 5 sentences, right? So if you're willing, I would really love for you to, you know, videotape your page and just read it so I can, I mean, obviously if you want to face the camera, that's super cool, but if you don't, I get that too. I just would like to hear your voice. So let's do that with each other for the next couple days. I would really like that. Kind of yummy. So I'm glad you like it. My hands smell really good, although they look real weird. I've got ink all over them. But I'm telling you, you gotta go on Amazon, honey, and get yourself some alcohol wipes. I buy them by the case. I don't know if it's Amazon or Smart and Final. These things are the best, because I don't, like I said, I don't like to use chemicals in my house to clean. So I use these to clean my kitchen and my windows and my countertops and kind of everything. But all your inks will come off on your alcohol wipes, and then you don't have to worry about it. You stayed awake the whole time. Yay! Yeah, well, sometimes the tears come, and we are, you know, you guys, Kaz, you're in the southern hem, so you're not turning the wheel toward fall, which is the water season, which tends to be kind of an emotional season because it's water. You're turning towards spring, which hopefully that little burst of air energy will, you know, spring tends to dry those tears that fall brings in a way. Yeah, if you have Smurfy fingers, you get your rubbing alcohol, honey. I literally buy rubbing alcohol by the gallon, and then I refill my, I get like a dozen spray bottles on Amazon, and then I buy rubbing alcohol and I refill all my bottles. It's like my big fat Greek wedding, except I use alcohol and not Windex. You're so welcome, you guys. All right, so thank you for being here. And thank you, Alexis, for staying too. Ink in your clothes is kind of a different situation, but this is a water-based ink, so you should be okay. Maybe somebody, Vanya, or someone who's kind of an ink expert who does a lot of this might have some good cleansing tips for you too. I should try products from the Wellness Company. I will look into it. I really don't like to use cleaning products. So, because I just think everything in our environment is so toxic that, you know what I mean, I try to use more pure things, but I'm always open to your suggestions too. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your evening. I will not be with you tomorrow because I have my MS infusion at the hospital, which has become such a sad thing. My seat partner died of COVID. So every time I go now, this is my third infusion without her. I infused next to her for almost 7 years. So every time I go, like my heart, I see her chair empty and it's like my heart sinks. So please stay healthy and well. It's very, very important. Anyway, I'm going to go do that tomorrow. And then Nick has a baseball tournament this weekend. He's got 4 games this weekend. So keep your fingers crossed that his team does really well. And then I'll be back with you next week and look forward to that. So enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, have a beautiful time. I hope it's beautiful where you are. I always carry you with me. But yeah, I will look forward to seeing you guys in just a few days. If you can hold a thought for tomorrow, I have my really, really big call with my dream publisher tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you just happen to look down at the clock at that time and can just send me a little burst of energy, I am a little nervous just because this is the one I really want. If it's meant to be, I know it will happen. But if you can just send me a little extra burst of energy, I would really appreciate it. That's tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. And then I'll be back with you next week with so much more, everybody. So yeah, thank you. Hold that thought. It'll all happen exactly how it's supposed to. And I'll keep you posted. And I'll see you guys soon. So yeah, I have my call and my infusion. I'll be online. I'm usually on Facebook when I'm infusing. So if you see me around online, I'm just hooked up to a thing. But I'll still be around, so I'm easy to find. And thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Mwah. All right, you guys. I'll see you soon. Have a great night. Thank you for being here tonight. It was all the things. Good for my soul. I'll see you soon.